Emperor Zach stands on the cusp of uniting all of Old Albion under his banner. If this feels like you're watching the last episode all over again, you're not, I promise. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Crusader Kings III in our Empire of Albion series. So, right at the end of the last episode, as I was about to claim all of Albion and be able to check that second box on the thumbnail, finally, 40 episodes in, almost 50 episodes in, mind you, the King of Wales died. And because he didn't have a valid heir, the King of Brittany took control of the portion of Wales that the former King of Wales controlled, which is unfortunate because I think even in the last episode, we just allied with him. So unfortunately, we can't really do anything about that. One thing I can do right away, his military strength is decent. I mean, he's, you know, it's nothing to be scoffed at, 6,822. But what we can do is we can go ahead and break the betrothal. So if we look at the alliance, we're allied through marriage between Prince Ethelred, which is a betrothal, and Princess Bronwyn. So if we go ahead and break this betrothal, this is going to spend some prestige, which is unfortunate. He's going to lose some opinion of me. They're not going to be happy about this. This doesn't mean that the alliance itself is broken, although that's something that could happen. What I want to do for now, though, is I just want to let this poor king, Zach, have some time to recoup his sanity, because holy crap, has the struggle been real. So let's go ahead and station, let me look at what some options are here. That would be a really good, if we replace the pikemen, yeah, I'd rather the pikemen be up here. Perfect. All right, so now I've stationed them. So let's go through just some basic situations to see what we can do. Now, one thing we can definitely do to reduce stress is get a little bit more gold in the coffers. There's a lot that we can do. We can demand payments, but obviously that's going to add stress. We have vassals that we can grant, which the fewer vassals we are directly in charge of, the less stressed we will be. So that's useful. Powerful vassals expect council positions. Well, let's see if anyone is worthy of a council position here. I kind of doubt that they will be, but I will entertain that possibility. Nope. All of my current counselors are awesome, to be honest. So I'm not too worried about that. Right now it's showing for whatever reason we have negative income. That will probably self-correct once I unpause. I don't think any of my armies are raised. No, none of my armies are raised. Okay. Lots to do. First thing, let's take a look at court positions. We have our physician. We have our antiquarian, caravan master, court tutor, seneschal. Very important for control growth. Do we have a better seneschal? Not really. Our court jester is terrible. We don't have a better jester option. That's kind of a shame. If we're going to pay him that much, like, what are we doing? I wish there was a way to actually, like, search for a better jester. Once the, you know, realm is larger, then it won't be as big of a problem. But right now, we can't search for a better jester, which makes me sad. All right, bodyguard, sabered. Bodyguard is Bjorthelm, which is still hilarious. Is that murder plot still going, by the way? Yeah, it is. It is, and we're still trying to sway Duke Vane. I don't think that's necessary anymore. So let's go ahead and cancel that plot and make sure the Spy Master is set to discover schemes. Yep. So we're doing that. Let's go back to court positions. We might have some other ransoming we can do. All right, so Keeper of the Swans. Diplomacy per level of fame. My diplomacy is pretty good at the moment. I need to think in terms of what I can really afford. A Master of the Hunt might not be the worst idea. A High Almoner is probably the best of my options. So the Patriarch I can appoint, and that will improve my monthly piety at the expense of a little bit of gold. But again, one thing you're going to see is now that we are going to start establishing control over all of this territory we have just taken, I'm going to keep this on court intrigue as long as that plot is active. Do I know who's involved in the plot? No. We should hopefully find out soon. So those are our two main priorities right now, is trying to find a way to declare war without breaking the alliance. The reason we don't want to do that, by the way, let me show you. So if we were to declare this right now, it would break the alliance, we would lose a level of fame, and we would gain attacked an ally for 3 years. And cultural acceptance would be negatively, you know, impacted. It would be a whole thing if we did that, so need to be careful there. I'm going to unpin Duke Vane. Let's see if there's anything else we can do up here for now. I kind of doubt that there is. Active elections. Can we still vote in elections? I think probably not. Oh, it looks like we can, actually. So Prince Antoninus currently is in line for King of Scotland. We can always remove Tanistry, to be honest. That's an option that we have. Ethelred is, in a lot of ways, a better ruler than Antoninus will be. As much as I hate to say it. Plus, he's improvident. But Ethelred is possessed. Great. Didn't notice that. Duke Thomas is evil. He's deceitful, so he's an evil atheist. That wouldn't be a good idea. He's a member of our dynasty, though. Starting to see that more and more. That icon down here. He's a member of the dynasty, or in this case, member of family and dynasty. So relation by blood or relation by marriage, essentially. Grows more and more. Children lack guardians. Really? Okay, well, let's go ahead and fix that. Also, while I'm thinking about that, we're going to take a look, focusing, again, on just making sure that everyone is happy and healthy. And primarily, that Zach is happy and healthy. Okay, so all of Zach's children are raised. They're grown. Which makes sense. I mean, at this point, Yarmila is 52. Zach's 62. His health is poor because of the bad omen, which we got last episode. Let's see how close we are. We're about halfway to the next perk here. We still have a good bit before we get to Whole of Body, so I'm a little bit nervous about Zach, but I'm going to do my best to keep him alive. The game has just literally thrown every last thing at this poor guy to... We do have an excellent court physician, that's good. Everything at him to try and keep him from being happy, which is just so sad. Alright, we might have some more ransoms that'll pop up when I unpause. Let's go ahead and go to speed 3 and unpause. Now that we've been recording for almost 10 minutes. Alright, the alliance has expired with King Conradu, which is not surprising. So now we have the option to declare war on him just straight up. There's a part of me that's tempted to go ahead and do that so that we can have the peace of mind of just being able to defeat Brittany. Let's see, if we seize that duchy, we would gain the title. It would cost prestige. We don't really have a lot of money right now. Let's give Zach a minute to collect himself. Investment inquiry. With Empress Yarmila's diligent administration of my household's finances, there is more gold at the end of this season than expected. How should we put it to best use? Husband. We could host a magnificent dinner party to the light of all. We could invest the money in the local area, which would help us lose stress. Control level would change by 10, and we would gain encouraged development for 10 years. If there's one thing money can buy, it's eyes and ears. We can increase defenses for 5 years. Yeah, or we could say, let's save it for now and just gain 85 gold. Let's increase defenses, because if everyone's trying to kill Zach, we can just say, you know what? Screw you all. I'm just going to build walls around him, and you won't be able to do that. As we build up more gold, though, there's our income. It's back to 1.8, and it's going to continue to climb as control increases. The way that this basically functions, let's take a look at an individual county. So, control needs to be at 100. in order for the income to be like at its maximum level. And then the level of income is determined by the level of development. So that overall income is modified downward by the level of control, basically. I think it's a 0 to 100% modifier. So like as control decreases, income decreases. So as control increases over all these areas, if we look at the control map, you'll see what I mean. We have a number of areas that are kind of low at the moment in control. Nice. Our level of splendor has increased. So as we improve control, we will continue to see an increase in our income. And now that we control so much territory, that's going to happen more rapidly than it's happened in the past. It's so nice to see Albion under this banner. I just want to take care of Brittany as soon as possible. There's a part of me that just wants to conquer the whole frickin' thing, but it's not necessary. Okay, we have some additional ransoming to do. Let's do that. We're going to ransom him. And we'll wait for that one to be accepted. Alright, so it looks like the increased control task was completed there. Let's go ahead and go back to the council. I want you to increase control here, because control is quite bad in this particular county. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. So remember that one of the things that's happened is we were in debt a lot over the last several years. That's just something that happened as a result of all these wars that Zach has been fighting. So some negative modifiers have popped up, which always pop up when you're in debt for a while. And we need to be out of debt for a while for those to run their course and go away. And there can be positive events that remove them early. The skill of the Chancellor can also cause those events to end early, or those modifiers, rather, to end early. But for now, we just want to do everything we can to get Zach's stress level down. So we can also pardon or imprison criminals. Let's take a look at this. Ban Mormare Martha. She's a title claimant. She's a fornicator and adulterer. I've already released her from prison in the past. Prince Edric. Did you try to kill me at some point? Attempted murder? Yeah, I think he actually tried to kill me at some point. His opinion of me is improving. But there are lots of modifiers that would prevent him from having a very good opinion of me. So I don't know. Part of me is tempted to try to imprison him again at some point, but for now, I'm just going to trust my spy master and my wife to keep me safe. Yeah, these are the counties where control is lowest. We're going to focus on that. Where exactly are you? You're in Briefny. Now, hold on a second. Nice. Administrative courtiers. Where are you exactly? Yeah, this is where control's lowest. So I guess maybe... Oh, we have low control in Lothian. Oh, that's a problem. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, we're going to have you come here. We need to improve control in our core county. Apparently, maybe because of some raids that happened. Yeah, that's a problem. I hadn't noticed that. That's part of the reason our income's so low. We get the most income from the territory we actually control. So the fact that control is so low in Lothian, I had not noticed that. Look at that. Holy crap. That's awful. Partly due to the smuggling ring, which just went away. Perfect. So that's an example of that getting removed. So Duke Bangar, who we raised, and whose opinion of us is growing, is doing a good job as the Marshal. See, this is nice. Even though his stress level's not down yet, it's cool to feel like I'm just ruling over the island now. We're going to keep it, or the islands, I should say. We're going to keep it on speed 3 for now, just to make sure things are moving at a somewhat steady pace. We can see the income in our domain steadily increasing. A grand tour is not the worst idea. The problem is, look how expensive it is. a grand tour of my territory at this point. The last person, I think the last king that did a grand tour was Constantine the First. That was a long time ago. All right, what do we have here? We have some inspirations. Skill is merely decent. Very competent. Okay, yeah, if you're just competent, we're not going to waste time. Tell you what, let's just clear that. Because I don't want to see those notifications when it's not really worth the time. Alright, let's take a look at the control level in Lothian. Still only 26, so we want that to increase over time. It's going to take him 5 years. Is there a better marshal? There is actually. It's Bjorthelm, but we don't want Bjorthelm back in as marshal. I wish we could replace our patriarch. We can do that if we were to change the religious laws. Take a look at how we're doing culturally. Alright, so we have royal prerogative. That's going to be discovered in about 22 years, and that'll allow us to raise crown authority. High crown authority will... Let's see what this would change. Vassals cannot wage war against other vassals unless they use a hook on their liege. So this would dramatically limit the amount of infighting and also increase our vassal tax contribution overall. By the way, notice Scottish culture still has not popped. Remember at the beginning of the series where I was like, hey, let's get Edinburgh so as soon as Scottish culture arrives. Imagine if I had waited to check off that, you know, first box until we were truly Scottish. We were Scotland for a while, like in terms of our national identity, but in terms of the cultural identity, it literally doesn't exist yet. We are time-traveling Scotsmen here. All right, let's go ahead and ransom that last character there. Okay, so we just received a plush carpet. We're going to gain some gold from this, and we're going to get extra vigilant for 10 years. So that's kind of a hint at who some of the potential troublemakers are. Now, I might be able to do like a minor event here. Let's see. No, not quite yet, but we're getting there. If we have other events that give us large amounts of gold, then we might be able to host a feast, which would definitely help with stress. It's just right now, we don't have a lot. One thing I will also be able to do pretty soon, nice. Marshal impresses vassal. One thing I'll also be able to do is start just building more in general. My antiquarian Margarita approaches me holding my Anglo-Saxon mace in her hands. My liege, while I was cleaning the armory, I noticed that this here weapon is rusted away to almost nothing. What should I do with it? I looked the weapon over. While no amount of reforging could ever make it battle-worthy again, it would be possible to clean it up and preserve it for display at only a marginal cost. Do I want to give up that much gold for this mace that's giving me extra prowess? I think I do. Oh, it's not giving me extra prowess anymore. That's rude. And that makes sense, because that's what it was saying by it's not ever going to be battle-worthy anymore. So, note to self, and anyone watching who doesn't know this, basically, when it's not going to be battle-worthy anymore, it's going to remove that prowess modifier permanently. Oh, let's unpause here. And replace it with something else. Now, we still get a court grandeur bonus, and that actually, that's not nothing. Hold on. That might have actually helped. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, yeah, we can display it here. I see. So if we put it on display, let's unpause and see if that causes court grandeur to change. Okay, it does give us a boost, but it's not a boost to the level. It's a boost to the amount of court grandeur. Right now we're at 81.86. We need 90 to be at grandeur level 10. Okay. Our income is fluctuating, which is annoying. Courtiers gained trait. Learning perk available. Good. Alright, so let's go with restraint. This is a little bit odd. We need to go... I mean, all of these need to be unlocked before I get whole of body, but I'm really going to push hard to try and get there. How's that murder plot? It's still going. Secrecy is at 30%. Success chances at 5%. Your vassal, Duke Amkad, has slain my niece, Princess Berta, in a dishonest brawl. I demand satisfaction for this slight. We can say good one. Oh man, that would be rude. Yeah. Good one. Schemer discovered. Yup, the guy that gave me the carpet. So this is the dude. So this should end the scheme. And now we know who it was. I could imprison him. He doesn't have... He's actually not... if I try to imprison him, he'll just leave immediately. Because he's not actually a landed character. So that wouldn't be the worst thing, because I could kind of get him out and get us in a position where we don't have to worry about him as much. Murder on you has been abandoned. Good. Sell trivial titles. Oh, yes. One thing we haven't done in a while, but this will give a good amount of gold. It's going to cost 500 prestige, but yeah, it's an immediate conversion. Let's see, skill is merely decent, very competent. No, yeah, I don't want to see those. All right, so now we have the money again. Let's take a look at event options. All right, a feast is now affordable. As is a hunt. But I think a feast would be more worthwhile. And we could also gain courtly vassal opinion, but the main thing I want to do is just reduce his stress. So let's go ahead and plan this feast. Murder feast or just feast? No, let's just have a feast. And we're going to have a feast in Lothian. There's not going to be any traveling. We're not going to worry about... Ooh, we could have an honored guest. Could we invite someone with a lower opinion to maybe make them an honored guest? A feast can have an honorary guest in whose honor the celebration is held. The central part of the banquet, the toast, will grant them prestige due to this prominent position, but beware, it can also be a trap. Murder feast hosts have a tendency for killing their honorary guest. Oh, man. Okay, so one thing we could do is we could... Hold on. Let's discard this for now. We're going to stay paused. Our player heir right now is Prince Antoninus. He's a gracious blackguard. Prince Alpin wouldn't be the best. Prince Ethelred, I wish he wasn't possessed, because he's strong and comely, but, I mean, the problem is he's not married either, interestingly enough. Didn't notice that until just now. Let's see if we can get a really, really good marriage for him. The Duchy of Transjurania. This would be a betrothal, as has been the case many times. She's callous, though, so not a decent person so far. But I mean, he's calm, fickle, and diligent. It just so happens that he's possessed. The sudden changes in emotion, awareness, and ability that Ethelred experiences can only be explained by spirits inhabiting his body. So that's like... He just has... basically, that's the CK3 medieval version of saying he's, like, not neurotypical. He's not literally demon-possessed. He just is a little bit all over the place. And I think the events that relate to that can manifest differently based on the kind of character someone is. So, Yeah, let's go with Jean here. Let's... We can make it a grand wedding. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do matrilineal. They're related. I didn't know that. They are related. Okay, well, the Duchy of Galicia is a possibility. Duchy of Toulouse. Okay, let's send that proposal. And that locks in another marriage. And it's just interesting, though, because we don't currently have a way to designate different children as an heir at the moment. But it would be cool if he could be the heir. So I suppose what we should do is host the feast in honor of Antoninus. So let's plan the feast. No murder. We're going to do it in Lothian. The honorary guest will be, based on opinion of me, Antoninus. Okay. So we're not going to invite rivals. We'll invite fellow vassals, extended family. Although I think... No, this is for all the guests, not just the honorary guest. We could also invite knights, other players. There are no other players at the moment, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that travel planning advice. Because I know what I'm doing in that regard. Or at least I think I do. I'm not going to invite neighboring rulers because that would invite the King of Brittany and that could be bad. Okay, so the intent is recreation, definitely. And then activity options. Alright, so we could have a greatly increased prestige gain. I think I'd rather have a high opinion gain by having an exorbitant number of courses. So let's start the feast. We have a lovely time ahead of us. You gain 35 prestige right away, and we'll go to speed 4. Oh, nice. Jarl Helgi just gave me 135 gold. You're a true friend indeed. What the heck? All right, that alliance has been formed. So, you know, one thing I can do with that, let's go ahead and take a look at building options, because I might have some things I can build with that. And we can upgrade the log forts here. Okay, so it looks like there's some fighting going on to the south, which we can look at in a second. I'll go ahead and buy that upgrade. I can manage things from here. Let's go ahead and continue the feast. That was just asking if I wanted to continue the feast. God, isn't it nice to have a somewhat relaxing episode? I just need to get his stress level down. Poor guy. He's 64, his health is poor. We need that not to be the case. Victory. Yeah, that was fast. Glad I didn't raise any troops. Just wasn't necessary. Alright, so we're currently improving development in county. I could switch to collecting taxes, which would improve just my domain taxes. So domain taxes are currently 5.1. So this would improve that by what? Like under 0.5. So monthly income would go up to like 2.7, maybe 2.65. If I were to change this. I want to have him continue to increase development. That's the main thing that he needs to be doing. Also, now that we are no longer under murder threat, let's go ahead and set the wife back to assist ruler. We have a new inspiration. Her skill is merely decent. Okay, we're going to dismiss that. I don't want to worry about it. You're an experienced fighter. Oh, that reminds me. Let me go in and take a look, make sure that everyone that is forbidden from fighting. Yeah, Nicola actually is a nice fighter. We could recruit him to court. We have the money to do it. We haven't been able to do that for a while, but we can recruit him to court. Yeah, let's forbid the marshal from fighting. Leofhelm. Oh, that's actually not the Leofhelm I was thinking of. There's another Leofhelm. Alright, let's forbid Ethelred from fighting. I've been meaning to do that because I noticed him in his helmet earlier. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Vassal and commander, brother and vassal, Prince Edric. We could force Edric to fight. Yeah, let's force him to fight. Because he's been a bit of a problem. So, you know, if anything were to happen, we could just kind of shrug and be like, oh, what a shame. What a shame. He did try to kill me. Just saying. Let's forbid the Caravan Master from fighting. And there's that. Alright, speed 4. Counselor Alf. Oh! There goes our excellent Spy Master. Damn. Alright, well, we need a loyal new Spy Master, and this is going to be the best option. Good news is he's young. He's 28. So he has a long time to be in the position and grow into that position. So he's been appointed. I'm glad that happened after the murder plot was sort of solved. That worked out for the best. Somebody's planning to kill the court jester. We must stop the villain behind this. Wow. Who would want to kill the court jester? Someone who wants to keep me stressed, I suppose. Which reminds me, let's take a quick look and see if there might be a better court jester available now. Nope, not really. I mean, anyone's better than him at this point. Leofhelm is one possibility, but I'm going to wait until maybe the game gives me something that's higher than poor. That's really a shame that he died. So, who took his place? King Edwulf. So if we take a look at the Kingdom of Wessex, if we look at the title history, yeah, so it went to King Edwulf. Interesting. He's young. He's 32. He's intelligent. Good-looking dude. Scheme at court. Oh. So we've just discovered the schemer. And it's just a random visitor to court. Let's put her in jail. And, I mean, we could even... We couldn't ransom for anything, but we could execute with... Oh, that would gain stress, though. I would actually gain stress from that. Alright, well, let's let the feast continue. In the name of the divine. Following the death sentence of a lowly thief, I asked my granddaughter Sarah what she thought. She expressed doubts about whether any god could want a realm to be ruled by such a harsh law. So, she's cynical, but we could make her just or temperate in a way that would stress us out. Right now, she's cynical and rowdy. Let's go with temperate. I hate to have the stress gain, but I think the feast will ultimately balance that out. Alright, so we have a claimant on the Kingdom of Wales. Wouldn't really be a good... Princess Marwena, daughter of King Honorad of Wales. Interesting! Alright, so Margarita, your antiquarian, is plotting against the jester. Why? Alright, so we know she has a claim. Let's invite her to the activity. I'm not sure what that's going to do, but I want to see what happens. Looks like she showed up. Visiting your court in Lothian. Okay, the feast begins. Let's see how this goes for reducing his stress level. I need to just stop using words. Gained a level of devotion. At least that's working for me. Gain 70 gold. Man, if I had the gold, I shouldn't have spent anything. I should have saved it. I'm going to gain gold, but we're going to gain more stress. And now, yeah, see, this feast might not even do it. In a drunken stumble, Jarl Vamunder unlatched an enormous cauldron hanging over the fireplace in the middle of the feasting hall. Savory broth welled forth to cover half the room in a sea of stew. The unsuspecting Sarazine, seated next to the cauldron, was caught by the rushing wave and loudly cursed her ruined appearance as grease ran down her face. Guests rushed to the other side of the hall as the thick mass spread greasy tendrils among skipping feet. Princess Maria stood catatonic in the middle of it all, shocked and horrified at the decadent waste. Cursed this mess. So, we are going to gain a small health boost from this, which is, you know what, I'll take it. Is there anything more jovial than a good feast? Guests throng to and fro, eating and chatting while flickering torchlight plays off every wall, light bouncing like laughter around the hall. There's something so simply pleasant about the act of feeding others, of breaking all bread, and sharing cups in the same room. Sometimes it's nice to simply sit back and enjoy the little things in life. So we can say this is where I want to be and lose 110 stress. Boom, now we're down to stress level 1. That was nice. All my guests smile satisfied at their plates when I look at them, proud of my display of generosity. That said, Jarl Vamunder might carry more shame than satisfaction after overturning the cauldron. Cleaning up will not be cheap. We should do this more often. Alright, so that's 17 more stress gone. And I think there's a final stress modifier when the feast ends. I know what I said, I just don't understand why you find it so funny. Duke Elfgar cocks his head to the side while I withhold my chortle. I haven't told him that what he said could be interpreted as something lewd. I'm having a hard time understanding this dialect, and I heard you are a cunning linguist. I may not be alone in thinking this is funny either. Antoninus spat out some of his drink when Duke Elfgar repeated himself. The two could share the same kind of crude humor as I, or they could be offended by it. I don't know what either thinks unless I speak up. We could say, never mind. Or we could say, repeat what you said, slowly. Really think about it. Yeah, you know what? Let's let Zach have a little fun. Duke Elfgar is mortified by your perverse humor. And Antoninus. You grow closer to forming a rivalry with Antoninus. Yeah, okay, game. Okay, whatever. The feast is starting to draw to a close, and my visitors are surely expecting me to lavish a little attention on Antoninus, our esteemed guest of honor. Traditionally, a complimentary toast and a deep drink of spiced wine does the trick. Then again, all Antoninus did was turn up. The feast was my idea, I paid for everything, and I hosted everyone. So this will give him more prestige, and also give him a single kind of lump sum prestige gain. And now a toast to Antoninus. Okay, so we're going to lose a lot of stress. We're going to progress towards the Eager Reveler trait, and we're going to gain Great Banquet for 5 years, which helps with popular opinion and development growth. And with that, it's all done. Few candles survive after the last of the guests has left. I can hear a pair of servants letting out sighs of relief after the doors close. The food is still warm on the ceramic plates. Soon word will reach every corner of the realm, and every noble worth their salt will know that my magnificence is unparalleled. With all my guests leaving the castle with the entire contents of my vast pantry in their bellies, I am proud to say that the feast was a success. Nevertheless, I am still grateful that the endeavor is over for now. And with that, it's all done. Finish feast. Check that out. No stress. That was the objective of this episode. Now I can turn my attention to taking Wales in the next one, and maybe even taking all of Brittany, because that would give us kind of a foothold here against what's going on down here. Now, we're allied with the Holy Roman Empire, so we don't necessarily need to, the old Roman Empire is struggling. A lot of civil war going on. You can just tell by looking at the, high-level view. But for now, we will wrap up here and see what we can do about taking control of Brittany in the next episode, now that Zach is a little bit less stressed, because I want to check off that box. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For channel emotes and member badges, look for the join button to learn more. New episodes drop every day but Tuesday at 11 a.m. US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.